Durham, thank you for joining us. We're so happy to curate your city. We had Thaddeus Hunt, Tad Hunt of the Durham Street Art Tumblr with us today. He's looking for submissions. He already has amazing street art and graffiti from Durham, some great pictures. We talk about all of that and more. Things on the calendar, the Durham Mardi Gras Parade is a week from the Tuesday. I guess that's going to be Tuesday the 17th. Anyone can participate. You can get out there and march, bang on a drum. It celebrates the vitality and the free-spiritedness of Durham that we love and know. I know there's also the day after that, I believe the 18th, a great documentary film called Records Collecting Dust that will be at the Motor Co. I'm sure the Illegal is coming up at the Pinhook. Check out that calendar as well. Follow us on Twitter at the Clarion Content. Check out our clarioncontentmedia.com website. We love your contributions. We want to hear from you. You can watch us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can also find our buddy Josh Hart on Instagram, YouTube, and as well as Made with Heart, his new amazing website. And our buddy Chris Vitiello, who wasn't able to be with us this week, but Chris is at Chris, Vitiello. Durham, thank you so much. We're proud to curate your city. I did want to talk about on a totally different angle, something that you have that's a personal passion project, which of course is very relevant right now. Josh was just saying he was going to get some snaps of Matthew Curran's work being demolished over on the Green Wall.
Such a heartbreaker.
It's tough. I mean, they told us it was going to happen, but then to actually watch it happen, it's pretty brutal. But your personal passion project, or one of them, is preserving some of this. The Durham Street Art Tumblr is out there collating Durham street art.
I moved to Durham, I think about 2.5 years ago, and immediately saw there are these wonderful alleyways and whatnot that you can wander around and sneak around and look at, just see what's there, see what you don't see every time you walk by it every single day. And I immediately found evidences of all kinds of different street art, tags, wheat paste, slaps, the whole 9 yards. And once I started realizing that it's this hidden sort of element of Durham, I became sort of obsessed.
Yeah.
So I started going around with a camera and my iPhone and snap pictures of it.
You're a photographer anyways on a certain level, right? I've seen a bunch of good shots that you've taken of sunsets and buildings.
I don't know if I'm an amateur or not, but I've never taken a class or anything like that. So I guess I just go with what looks good to me and then go from there.
It's interesting. I feel like it's embedded in your identity somewhere, because when I first started following you on Twitter, that's what I thought you were, was a photographer.
Yeah, photographer. I get that quite a bit sometimes. I guess I just look at things that look interesting to me, and then I capture it and process it a little bit. And then I just put it up there. I'm really proud of the city, and I love capturing it.
So do you go on deliberate trips for Durham Street Art Tumblr?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes I used to for a while. I used to go every Sunday. So if you see me walking around with a camera and a backpack, that's more than likely what I'm trying to do. And I have a couple places that I go. However, and this would be a call to you all, I would love to have some submissions. The Tumblr is definitely open to submissions and whatnot. But if you folks around town or anywhere have examples or places or
stuff that he doesn't know. If you've seen it and he hasn't, I keep meaning to take a picture. Remember those black and white flower slaps that went up all in one stretch?
And those are almost all gone.
Right, exactly. They are almost all gone, but there's one on the back of the old Amtrak station, which I drive by periodically, and I keep thinking, damn it, take a picture of that for Tab, but I'm always in my car, and I do take a lot of pictures in my car while moving, which is probably not the safest idea, but that one is a very hard angle to get from the car, etc. It's across from the new bus station on the back of the old Amtrak. Who did those flower slaps? Wasn't that like a New Yorker or somebody out of town?
Yeah, he was passing through town.
And
he got up one night and just put these flowers all over. It was awesome to wake up to. Across from my building where I live off of Main Street, I came out and there's this huge one. It was about my height even. It was like 6 feet tall, 5 feet wide. I couldn't believe it. I don't know when they did it, but it had to have been a really
great operation, like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh on Main Street.
Yeah,
and that's part of what I really love about street art is its temporality. It's ephemerality. It's there and it's gone. There was the flower that I am thinking of on Main Street. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but that was essentially across from the Pinhook. Was gone. Like they got rid of that.
They scraped it off immediately. And that's the whole point actually of this project, is because of the temporary nature of these stories. I mean, every time I see any kind of street art, I always know there's a story attached to it, even if it's a short one.
Heck yeah.
And it really is a chronicling of our city in a sometimes literal and abstract way. And I really love grabbing that, because the very nature of it is to be taken down. And it's fun to go back and look. I've got a really good collection going on right now, but it could be so much bigger. So if you guys could make some submissions if you'd like,
we want them.
I'd be absolutely stoked to get them.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like, not to say feel twice in a very short time, but it's the feel.
Yeah.
That's what really comes from street art. It's how people are feeling and what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Even if, some of it's angry or really representational. I saw another one, I got a snap for you, that's right over by Justin, Buddy Rusky.
Yeah.
It says, Free Doom.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's on the boarded up house. Right across the board. And it really felt like, damn.
And also during the protests, there was a whole slew of stuff that went up during that time.
And the cops just actively scrubbing it, or whoever, the city actively scrubbing it, does kind of make for this brutal dynamic. Like, I love that one, Jay Gunn was writing about it, Joshua Gunn, the hip-hop artist, with the little things of social media on the green wall, icons of social media. I mean, that was a good one. That was super cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they scraped that one. They were having a tea party. It was like the Snapchat.
Yeah, there was a little girl having a tea party with a Snapchat ghost, the Twitter bird, and I think
Yik Yak was the third one.
Yeah.
It was Yik Yak.
Yeah.
And it was that looks almost like a Pac-Man figure, I want to say, like a Pac-Man or something.
Yeah, and it really was. I loved it because it was just such a testament to where we're going now. Like our kids are having tea parties with imaginary
right,
icons,
like that's what they are.
Friends
the social
online.
media, that's
very,
what
very
it was really profound.
Statement.
Yeah, and there was no sense of who made it or any kind of crediting of it.
No.
If people hadn't gotten pictures of it because of how fast the city or whomever in authority took it down, we wouldn't even be able to have this conversation. Yet here's this really Banksy-esque, profound piece of art that's about, who are our kids talking to and how?
Yeah, exactly. And I found actually a lot
of people. Not that I have kids.
A lot of people.
Or Tad. He doesn't have kids either.
That there is this, because the act of being caught would be pretty bad, that when I have found out who has done some of the stuff around the city, they've actually just been like, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, please keeping that to yourself.
No.
So that's part of the fun, but also that's definitely the respect.
That's a long-time graffiti street art coda. Banksy herself is unknown in large part to whomever that they shouldn't be an authority. And I want to just revisit that whole idea of kids, that we both say kids in that way. I think it's because of this communitarian sense we have in Durham, that we think of our community and the kids of our community. I think I have a pretty good idea who's painting squad, all over certain places, and I don't want to see people go to prison for that. I want to see people who want to paint have spots where they can. Yeah, no, I mean, the last time I was out in San Francisco, I got a picture of it. I couldn't put it on the Street Art Tumblr because it wasn't in Durham. But there was this alleyway that they had that the city had sanctioned for street artists to come out and just put murals on, and this thing was 2 blocks long, and it was just incredible. And I was thinking immediately, I know it would never happen, but I immediately thought of Alley 26 and how great that would be, because people tag in there all the time anyways. How great that would be if they just opened that up and paid some artists or officially sanctioned artists to come in and actually have a community area where people could put whatever they wanted on it. What a great use of space that would be. Oh, and there's a lot of places in Durham with that kind of potential. We had conversations with Julio Cordoba in the building that the Scrap Exchange used to be in. They have an outside retaining wall there that we were discussing whether he would let us do some street art painting and film the street art painting of. Cool. And I feel like we really could get a consensus behind that idea in Durham, and
and
channel it in a positive direction. I mean, I know the Nasher is reaching out right now about doing murals or one particular mural that's going to be on the side of a particular, I don't know which Durham building yet. I don't think they know which Durham building.
Yeah, but I also love that there is a little bit of a movement. I personally wish it was more severe, but for these murals to go up in Durham.
Definitely.
And because in a lot of ways, so many of our murals, including the Kieran one that's getting taken down, is iconic. I mean,
Right.
It is, when people think of Durham, they think of these murals. And I think it's not only a form of an expression, but also identity.
Definitely.
Which is
I mean,
great.
Emily Weinstein's murals, the amazing ones that are still up, and the one that got painted over right next to the new civil rights mural. Like, we have an unbelievable tradition of murals. And Margaret DeMott from the Durham Arts Council once gave me this just wonderful lunch. In fact, she bought me lunch at Toast, and gave me this wonderful background on all of the murals. And I still owe both Durham and Margaret a piece on the history of our murals. It's unbelievable. But I don't suffer the ephemerality of them terribly, that they go away, because I think that change happens and they're part of an era. And weren't you saying off camera there's already a new Matthew Curran one, or was that Ali Mullen telling us?
No, it's both. Ali and I were both talking about it. It's I think it's a new sushi joint, but Diamond
View 3.
Yeah, yes. I contacted him on Instagram when the fish were starting to get torn down, and he got right back to me, and he was just like, "Oh my God, is that happening this week?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And then he said, "Well, don't worry about it. I'm in Durham doing a new one." And of course, I was all over trying to figure out where it was. And I haven't been down to see it yet, but he's been posting pictures, and it's outstanding. It's so cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Well, that is fantastic and so fun to talk about. Tad Hunt, everybody, his stuff is at the Durham Street Art Tumblr. You can help him collate Durham Street Art there. You can reach him on Twitter at Thaddeus Hunt, which I'm sure you can Google how to spell Thaddeus if you struggle with that.
It's 2 Ds, Thaddeus.
Right, and there's another place to find you if they're looking for you as a web programmer, that kind of thing.
Yeah, my company, I make it sound so much bigger than it is. It's just me.
He rocks, though.
It's conduitdesigns.com, and you can find information on how to get in contact with me, rates, and that kind of stuff, and what I do.
Fantastic. Well, what he does is be an amazing Durham citizen. We're so lucky to have people like this in the community. It's so great to be sitting here, staying humble with people who are makers and our friends. And, you can find us at the YouTube, Clarion Content. You can find us at clarioncontentmedia.com. We didn't even tell you, Tad's a writer who's written some unbelievably great stuff written for the Clarion Content at times as well. We're always looking for contributors as well. So if you have something to say, something you're thinking about, a story we don't know, please get at us. If it takes forever to respond, please forgive me, because we don't have a huge infrastructure. We're looking for help. We're looking for sponsorship. We're looking for people who want to help us be the media that helps make your world a better place. We want to curate the city, and
absolutely.
Tad's on the mission. Josh is on the mission. Find Josh at Josh Hart on Twitter, and Made with Heart Media out there. So we're really grateful. Thank you.